Hello everyone and welcome to another MTG Chat, where we explore the idea of societal ruin and the rejection of traditional norms in the release document for Hour of Devastation, which has a pre-release arriving faster than the hours needed to prove oneself worthy in the eyes of the God Pharaoh. Like previous chats, I welcome and enjoy reading your comments, concerns, and criticisms. If you feel like I've said something that needs clarification or correction, or you just have a question you'd like me to answer about Magic mechanics and rules, the comment box is down below. Hour of Devastation contains 199 cards, 15 basic land, 70 common, 60 uncommon, 42 rare, and 12 mythic rare that appear in booster packs, plus 10 cards available only in Hour of Devastation Planeswalker decks. Hour of Devastation booster packs can also contain Masterpiece series cards. Pre-release events are scheduled for July 8th to 9th, with the draft weekend following on the 14th to the 16th. Hour of Devastation's game day is scheduled for the weekend of August 5 to 6. As of Hour of Devastation's release date, July 14th, the following sets will be allowed in Standard: Battle for Zendikar, Oath of the Gatewatch, Shadows over Innistrad, Eldritch Moon, Kaladesh, Aether Revolt, Amonkhet, and Hour of Devastation. Hour of Devastation introduces 2 new mechanics while reprising most of the other mechanics found in Amonkhet. If you need a refresher on cycling, -1/-1 counters, discard triggers, and split cards with Aftermath, do check out my Amonkhet MTG chat, which I'll leave a card for in the top right corner, as well as the Amonkhet release notes, which can be found in the description of that video. The set will also feature a couple of cycles, some mechanical themes, and of course, the story spotlight cards first featured in Kaladesh. Believing that Embalm from Amonkhet wasn't already an amazing mechanic, Wizards of the Coast has decided to replace that busted old thing with the Eternalize mechanic, which is almost identical to its predecessor. Eternalize is an activated ability that functions while the card with Eternalize is in a graveyard. Eternalize means cost, exile this card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of this card except it's black, it's 4/4, it has no mana cost, and it's a zombie in addition to its other types. Activate this ability only any time you could cast a sorcery. Similarly to Embalm, the original card is exiled and a black 4/4 zombie token with the creature's other types and abilities is created. This of course includes any and all enters the battlefield triggered abilities printed on the actual card. Now I find it interesting that the document clarified some interactions with cards like Crook of Condemnation. For instance, during your main phase, the non-active player can't try to exile a card with Eternalize while you have priority. Also, they can't try to respond to an Eternalize activation by trying to exile the card using the Crook of Condemnation while you have that ability on the stack. The second new mechanic is very simple and very compact. Afflict is a triggered ability that can cause defending players to lose life during the combat step. Afflict N, where N is a number, means whenever this creature becomes blocked, defending player loses N life. This ability only triggers once, checking that the creature is blocked, rather than triggering multiple times, one for each creature blocking it. Very important distinction. This trigger is a loss of life trigger. It is not a damage trigger, so things like protection is not going to matter here. If you have like protection from a color or anything like that, it's not going to matter. If a creature with Afflict is attacking a Planeswalker and is blocked, the Planeswalker's controller is going to lose life as they are the defending player. Afflict is resolved during the Declare Blocker's step, which is before the combat damage step, which is important for these situations like if you had 1 health, block and afflict 1 creature and die, even though your blocker had lifelink, because your blocker with lifelink didn't get to hit for lifelink because you're dead during the Declare Blocker's step. One of the mechanics being reprised from Amonkhet here in Hour of Devastation is Exert. I believe I predicted that Exert costs added to activated abilities would have happened somewhere in this block, and here they are. There are a few creatures within Hour of Devastation that have activated abilities in which you have to exert the creature to pay the cost for some of those abilities. Now, a previously exerted creature can be exerted again to activate an ability, and only for the next untap step will that creature not untap. Now, as before, you can't exert creatures unless an effect specifically says you do so, and cards that tap down and freeze creatures do not exert them. Finally, if you take control of another player's creature and exert that creature, the creature will untap during that player's next untap step. They didn't exert the creature, you did. Of the 2 cycles, there are the Gods of Destruction, which upon dying will return to their owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. And the Fall of the Gods of the Trials, which are powerful spells that cause lands you control to not untap during your next untap step. There are a number of cards within this set that worry about non-basic desert lands. There are a set of colored non-basic lands that have abilities involving sacrificing a desert to do an effect, or other non-land cards in the set, creatures, things like that, that improve their triggered abilities if you either control a desert on the battlefield or have a desert card in your graveyard. The last thing of note within the set are, of course, the story spotlight cards. There are 5 of them in total. This time they talk about the hours leading up to the return of the God Pharaoh. Check out mtgstory.com for the short stories that are tied to each one of these cards. Now that should do it for this MTG chat. One final announcement before I sign off. This will most likely be the last MTG chat that I do on this particular YouTube channel. Not to worry, it's not like I'm quitting or anything like that. In fact, quite the opposite. I would like to ramp things up. I hinted at this during the channel update at the end of May. Basically, I'm aiming to expand the Magic content that I do, just not on this particular channel. I've always thought of this channel as kind of the laid-back, relaxed, just sort of learn how to make movies, play video games, and record funny things with my friends kind of deal. That's kind of where I want to keep this channel at, to be honest. Now, in addition, I've noticed, at least on YouTube, that I don't really see any places that actually go in depth into Magic rules, how things work, why things work the way they work. I mean, of the rules videos that I have seen, it's more just, it's like done through the eyes of a player explaining something to another player. And while that's great and all, there are some people out there that want that concrete, why does it work this way? How does it actually work? What are the little nuts and bolts? Why does it work this way? And I wanted to bring that to YouTube. I wanted to break down the Magic rules documents because I don't think anybody has done that. Not even Judge's Corner back on the old Gathering Magic YouTube channel. I don't think even they did that way back when. So that's something I want to do. I want to break down the comprehensive rules, the Magic tournament rules, the infraction procedures guide, all of that stuff. It's all stuff that players should have awareness of, but they don't. And I see that a lot on Magic communities, Reddit, forums, Facebook groups, things like that. And I want to bring that to the masses, basically. And yes, this is going to be fairly ambitious, which is why I'm taking my sweet time, because I want to do it right. I want to do it right for you guys. But I do want to attempt it. I just want to do it right. So, therefore, I'm looking into sweet names, sweet graphics for a new channel, hopefully up, running, doing weekly videos before Ixalan content starts up in September. So please do look forward to that. And if you want to give suggestions with this new ambitious project, feel free to do so in the comment box down below. Give me a direct message on Twitter at @dekurizu, or find me on the Kitchen Table Magic forums at kitchentablemtg.com. All of those places you can hit me up, talk to me about this. Finally, I want to thank everyone that's been watching, liking, sharing, commenting, following all these videos, as well as the other antics I do on this channel. You guys are great, and you all have my eternal gratitude. For those passersby that are interested, maybe like the sound of my voice, consider subscribing to the channel. I try to update weekly on the games I play regularly. Hit that bell for regular notifications. Thanks again, and I'll see you when I see you. Whether that be at the new Magic the Gathering channel or here.